What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Universe. And if you haven't checked out Ultimate Invasion, I highly recommend that you do so. That 4-issue miniseries, which we have a full video on, that is laying the groundwork for what will be the new Ultimate Universe. With Jonathan Hickman behind the wheel, having the artist Stefano Caselli. This Ultimate Universe issue number 1 is the foundational issue for what will be the Ultimate Universe. With a lot of titles in store, we have things like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, and Ultimate X-Men. All of these will be releasing January, February, and March of 2024. But this story takes us to Earth 6160 in an effort for the maker to bring back his world. He has created a new Ultimate Universe, but in his image, taking out key factors like Spider-Man being bit by a radioactive spider, ensuring that Captain America never de-thawed from that ice. But now that he is trapped inside of his castle, we have Tony Stark, aka Iron Lad, along with Reed Richards, aka Doom. They are trying to rebuild everything, fix everything that the maker had changed, but they are on a time crunch. They have limited amount of time to do this, because when the maker comes out, it is going to be all-out war. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so 2 weeks ago, the city sealed the maker inside. In his absence, a quiet war has broken out across the planet. Everybody is seeking more control, more territory, but there are some people that just want to be free. This is what picks us up with Doom and Iron Lad. They have made their way to a specific location to rescue a specific hero. They have come here to free the god of thunder and lightning. They have come to free Thor. Because right now, Thor is sitting in a prison in Asgard. But we see that Doom and Iron Lad, they quickly break him out. But before Thor leaves, there's something that he has to do. There is something that he must get. As he walks down these corridors, he arrives in the room that holds Mjolnir. But this is protected by Asgardians and Lady Sif. Lady Sif is his warden, and he tells her that he only wants what is his, that he will be on his way once he gets his hammer. But the way that Lady Sif sees it, if he escapes, if she allows him to just walk away, all the blame would lay at her feet. She tells him to return to his cell, but he says that he is leaving, and he is doing so with what is his. As they prepare to attack Thor, that is when Iron Lad strikes. He says that they don't have time for this, that they must get going now. They also tell him that if he wants Mjolnir so bad, he will have to go through all of them. And Thor kind of laughing at them, thinking, has it been so long that Asgard has forgotten? He doesn't need to go through them. The hammer will come to him. Reaching out, we see Mjolnir lift up from the ground and it makes its way into Thor's hand. Iron Lad thinking to himself, if he could have done this the whole time, why was he stuck in that cell? He could have freed himself if he chose to. Doom concludes that he simply didn't want to, with Thor giving everybody one heck of a beatdown. There is not a soul that can stand in his way. Now that he has his hammer back, he goes to leave. Telling Doom and Iron Lad to stand close, he lifts that hammer up and we see him teleported out of here. This is what brings us to Stark Tower in New York. Doom, Iron Lad, and Thor stand before the iced up Captain America, still frozen in that ice block. Doom goes on to explain that this is a hero that was erased, but because he is older, less corrupt in time, they were able to save him at his origin, in a state of innocence. Captain America has not been corrupted by the way this world has turned out, unscarred and unchanged. In many ways, better than all of them. At least, that is Doom's opinion. When Thor goes to break the ice, Iron Lad lets him know that we can't do that. We don't know what will happen if we break it. That could cause him to simply die. Iron Lad has thought about maybe doing a blood transfusion to try and help this situation out. But he has also learned about the super soldier serum. He worries that doing a blood transfusion would take that out of his system. And so they're trying to figure out the best way to unfreeze Captain America without truly having to worry about his safety. safety. This is where we see that Lady Sif is here. When Thor and the others had teleported out, she was able to make it through in time. Iron Lad is trying to let her know that we don't have time to argue about this, and you truly don't understand the ramifications of everything that is happening. The world is not as it should be, but he is telling Lady Sif that I think you should help us fix the world. When asking why, they tell Lady Sif because Thor is not your prisoner. On the true timeline, the way things should be, he is supposed to be your king. This is when Thor truly begins to ask questions. Doom goes into explaining the ruler of this earth, the man known as the Maker. While he is currently trapped in his future city, they are presented with an opportunity. They can change the world back to the way that it is supposed to be. And at the very heart of this matter, the Maker is from a different universe. He arrived with a very specific mission: to systematically erase the world's heroes from existence. He was able to do this by denying them the circumstances and events that would have transformed them into the people they are supposed to be. He did this having all of the knowledge of being in another universe. Doom knows all of this because he was the Maker's prisoner, a captive and a tool for decades. They tell Thor that you were supposed to be king of Asgard. Instead, the Maker helped Loki kill his father and steal his birthright. And so now they want to set things right. Without question, Thor is with them. And Lady Sif says that she'll stick around at least for a little while. Doom goes on to explain that the Maker's files, they have been amended over the years. Before the city closed, he finally understood the reference numbers to each entry were actually storage codes. A container where he keeps tokens, trinkets, and supposing little items from other heroes. It is kept in the capital city of Latveria. Within a matter of moments, our heroes, they teleport in. As they make their way in, they see that there are no alarms, there are no guards, that maybe, just perhaps, there is something sketchy here. Nonetheless, they have a mission. They have to get the repository. Each of these holding 100 items, relics of stolen lives. The only problem? There are dozens of these things. Even with Thor's ability to teleport them out of here, he's not sure if he's going to be able to do this. It is a vast amount, but he also says that he is a god and not one that is bound by limits of men. This is where we see someone coming up from behind them, sneaking up and driving a sword right through the chest of Thor. That somebody is Captain Britain. As quickly as he strikes, we see Lady Sif and Doom smashed up. Captain Britain is not messing around, but then he goes for Iron Lad. In the midst of their conflict, he is able to open up the mask of Iron Lad. Hitting it with his sword, it causes it to malfunction. But Iron Lad also tells him that I want you to remember who I am. As Tony puts his hand on the face of Captain Britain, he blasts him right in the eye. He tells Thor to get him out of here and get them out of here now. As they get back to Stark Tower with only one of the containers, we have Thor, who is in a very vulnerable position, and Tony Stark doing everything he can to ensure that Thor does not die. As Doom begins to open up the container, the first thing that he pulls out is a radioactive spider. This means our heroes are about to be reborn. Back in Latveria, we have Captain Britain, who is talking to the other leaders of the other nations. He is irate because he has been blinded and disfigured. He is now missing one of his eyes. But he does confirm that Stark and his companions broke into the castle. But this is not Howard Stark, this is Tony Stark. With this world's Hulk saying that this is a regrettable loss, but they have also been given an opportunity. Tony may not know it yet, but he just gave them all of North America. This is where Doom and Iron Lad notice that something is wrong. Alarms are going off because a targeting alert for a near-Earth orbit is about to strike. Tony gave up North America because he is now labeled a terrorist. And Doom says that their options are very limited. With the Asgardian Feld, they only have one option. This is when the chest of Tony Stark begins to glow. And from his chest, we see the eruption, the orbital strike landing right on Stark Tower. They believe that they have just taken him out. And now what they do is tell the lies. They spin the narrative. They sell this, that Stark was the enemy, that he was a terrorist. And everyone will believe this because the weapon that was used against him was none other than Stark Tech. As we pick up 1 week later, The news discussing everything that has transpired, and everybody is asking the questions of why. Why would Tony Stark do such a thing? Why would he commit acts of terror? A teenage boy. Though they may not have the answers just of yet, they do believe that Tony Stark was in the blast from the orbital strike. It is assumed that he also perished. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so not a bad introduction, laying the foundation for what will be the new Ultimate Universe on 6160. More than likely, that orbital blast freed Captain America, but it's also more than likely Thor, Iron Man, or Iron Lad, Lady Sif, and Doom all survived the blast. That item inside of his chest, we saw it during the Ultimate Invasion. It's really what he used to win the battle. And so in this situation, we can assume that it was used to save their lives. And lucky for our heroes, they were able to capture one of the containers. They may not have got all of them, but you could say that they got the most important one. Next to Captain America, the most important person in the Marvel landscape, that would be Spider-Man. A world without Spider-Man is a world that will fall, because in the Marvel universes, Spider-Man is always one of the most essential individuals to have there. His drive, his hope, his integrity, everything that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man is one of the most important things to have on this planet. That's why one of the Maker's first moves was taking that spider away and making sure that it never bit him. But now Iron Lad and Doom, they are getting ready to change that, to bring Peter Parker back into the fold, to make him the hero that he needs to be, that the world needs him to be. But the clock is dwindling. It will be only a matter of time before the Maker returns. In his sealed-off castle, time runs differently, so he will have much time to prepare. One thing is for certain, the war is about to begin. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you caught up on everything that happened with Ultimate Invasion. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.